Hi everyone and welcome to get to know me / get ready with me. I'm gonna film doing my makeup. You're gonna get this look and we're gonna start from the top to the finish when I do my hair and everything. We're just gonna talk and get to know each other a bit more, or so get to know me. Okay, I woke up not feeling the best, so you know what, we're gonna get ourselves put together and look good, feel good. So step one, let's go. I don't know about you guys, but I always do hair, then makeup. That's like I feel like if you don't do hair first and then your makeup, you're crazy. So today we are doing hair, then makeup. Let me know what you guys do. What order you guys get ready in. Is it makeup, hair, outfit, makeup, hair? That sounds about right. Or like outfit, hair, then makeup. That's something I could get behind. So I actually grew up in a small town in Nova Scotia, and everyone is always surprised when I have the aux and country music comes on. Like, guys, my high school was next to a cornfield, and like, what can I say? We used to party in barns. Like, there used to be sheep. So like, I don't know, I'm just a country girl. A little bit. Not all the way though, just a little bit. Just a little bit. But I do find myself to be more of a city girl, I'm not gonna lie. City girls are up, I've heard. One thing about confidence is, boy, you can fake that. Like, you can literally fake it. How will anyone know? How will they know? How will they know? They won't. You just gotta literally fake it till you feel it. Oh my god, the straightener is broken. Ow! F. You're my favorite straightener, dog. Don't do that. No. It's a sad day. It's a sad day when you gotta retire it. Because the plate is coming off. It's my favorite straightener. You have lived a great life. I wouldn't change my childhood for the world. Like, honestly, I think because we grew up in such a small town where everyone knew each other, we grew up with so much freedom versus if I was in the city, I feel like my parents would have not let me do or get away with half the shit that I did do and get away with, you know? Anyways, this is the primer I'm using, Milk. It's my go-to. This is the one I'm currently on. I do have a few other favorites, but for now, this is the one. This is the primer I'm using. So this is the foundation I like to use. I'm gonna put some, it's the Amazonian Clay by Tarte. This is the one I'm checking out. I'm gonna try it out, see if I like it. I've done it a few times and so far I have, but I've been on vacation, and when on vacation, I don't really wear a lot of makeup because it is just hot. I'm gonna let that heat up on my hands. I'm also gonna just wet my beauty blender a bit here. So I let it warm up on my hand like this, and I will pat it in to my skin. Pat, 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 pat. Just like that. Cover it all up. Make me beautiful. Ooh. It is also a little bit not my color, but once we do our contour and stuff, everything will blend itself out. I personally will always be a MAC concealer girl. I love their concealer. It is full coverage. It has been sticking with me for the past 10 years, and it is just my go-to. Like, look at how great that is. What? Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Okay. So why would I not use MAC? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I like to set it on the top as well. Literally don't really use a lot of brushes when I'm setting anything. Unless it's powders, but like liquid or cream things, I just go in with my finger. right? I just like to hit all my highlight spots right there. And everyone's face shape is different, but this is just how I personally like to contour mine. And like, wait, stick with it, okay? I also have the MAC Contour Studio Water Weight Concealer. That's what it's called, Studio Water Weight Concealer. So I will like to take, and I will warm it up on my skin again. And with the Beauty Blender, I am gonna apply this down on my contour area. So it's very light. It like blends in now because I am shapeshifter. No, I just went to Bali, so as you could tell, I am darker than my regular do. And this is the first time I'm doing my makeup since I've been back from Bali. So we just set that in, and that gets it ready for powders. So let's move on to powders. It's crazy because when we were younger, I feel like kids these days are like too scared to do anything, or maybe they're just not allowed, but also the world we live in is like crazy. But when we were younger, like we used to be out late nights playing like manhunt in the woods with everyone on our road, like on our street growing up. And like even with my friends, we used to be walking around town, like we were like 12 years old, literally like roaming the town for hours. Like, and our parents would just not know where we were or like what we were up to. They just knew we were together and we were like, I don't know, like going to the park or something. But we just be roaming, doing like no good things. Like, I don't know. I have to like focus doing my brows. This is just, I'm not like the best. But I just like to color it in because that's just how I do it. Also trying to do this with like, so I just like to do it until then, and this will fill in sparse. Brush it out, and then we will clean it all up when we powder. Just a quick little brow, because my brows don't grow, like they are not thick caterpillars like I want it to be. It took me, guys, I have not gotten my brows done for like 3 years, and then I finally got it shaped, and that's how thick it is. Like, come on, we want them to get thicker. My brows do not grow. And I've put castor oil and stuff on it too. Like, I'm doing the most, but it is just, maybe I'm just not consistent enough with it and I need to prioritize it more. I'm not gonna lie, everyone that does a makeup vlog, like, kudos to you, because it's really hard trying to like look at myself but also make sure I'm on camera doing this right now. Doing makeup is so fun. It's literally like art. Like, you are shape-shifting. Like, I am a shapeshifter. I am a shapeshifter. Shapeshifter. Anyways, shapeshifter. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Believe in me, I look better than this. Yes, I'm gonna
So it's actually called brow pomade.
I'll try and try. Just hang in there, Harry. Hang in there, Harry. Okay. So this is how I like to do my brows, I think. Right? This is just how I do them. And then I also, it's just not even.
Like to go over the brow fill with brow powder just to
Like
set
to
it.
go over with. There we go. And I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Promenade in dark brown. Gel serum. Okay, so this is the Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum. To go in with this, and it is in the color Creme Caramel. It is my highlight color. Everyone highlights their face differently, but this is how I do mine. It's a little chaotic because I am not a makeup artist. I do not claim myself to be, but I do know how to shapeshift my face. Right here, right here. Okay, we're gonna let this sit. And I like to use MAC. I don't know what color this is because like I told you, clearly a MAC diehard fan. Because I love their powders. If it's one thing about MAC powders, they know what they're doing. All right, and then I do it this way. And this is my MAC brush. I don't know because it's been rocking with me for years. I know, she just puts so much makeup on. I don't care. I like to do it right if I'm gonna do it. So I like to go in with the Fenty powder. This is my go-to highlight powder. This is in Honey 05. So I'm gonna take some on my beauty blender and I am gonna lightly place it to set it because you need to have a base or else it gets cakey and like it sticks weird. So always lightly fluff it on and like don't set it till after you get like a base layer of hot powder on your face. So we're just gonna, all the places we put highlight, we're gonna do that. Right? And now we will bake. Is that big? There. This is my treble zone for eyes. Right, I'm gonna just apply it chaotically. Chaotically. That's how we do it. That's just na, 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 na. Okay, so we did that. And then I like to go over with my contour wherever. I did it the first time with just not more product, whatever's on the brush, just to sharpen it because we want it sharper. Yes, I can flare my nostrils really far. It is a talent. Then I like to go in for my favorite blush. Obviously, I've used it a lot. It's MAC. and I believe this is Fever, but I told you guys, I'm like 99.9% sure it's Fever. I know, looks like a lot, but it will tone down over time. Just to get a little tan vibe going, you know? Y'all know the vibes. With a mineralizing powder from MAC, and this is Deep Dark is my shade right now after coming from Bali, but my winter shade is normally dark. Not that it matters, but just letting anyone who has similar color skin tone, we just like to apply this everywhere, like aggressively to blend. That's just my way of applying makeup. It's just aggressive. I just don't have the patience to sit there and do it forever.
This is the literal definition of a beat my face.
I'm not normally big on eyeshadow. I don't really do eyeshadow every day, or like if I'm going out, I sometimes do. It just really depends. I'm kind of lazy with it, but I will put highlight right here, and right here on the bridge of my nose tip. We really want the tip to be contoured. And this highlight is, I use NARS, and it is Albatross. If you could see it, I have really used up my makeup, because if I really like a product, I will use it for years. Like I said, why change it or fix it if it's not broke? But don't get me wrong, I do like to try a few other things. These are just my like go-to powders. So I put some on my Cupid ball here. Is that what it's called? I think so. Take my contour again, and I do it right here to pump it out. I'm not big on eyeshadow, but when I do, what I do is I will take my blush. I will take my blush color, which is the Fever, and I will just lighten it up and do like a soft color all over. Keep it neutral, right? We're gonna do the same thing on this side. This all over. Right. And then we will take our contour, color powder, and we are gonna neutralize the pink of the blush or the red, whatever blush you got, really. It just makes it all flow together. And I like it to be blended. If it's just my casual go-to.
I also like to add highlight in the inner corners of my eyes.
Everyday situation. Next up, I'm gonna do my eyeliner. Anyone who knows me knows I love a wing. I'm queen of wing eyeliner. Not to toot my own horn. I love doing a wing. It's my go-to. Right now, I just like the dip pencil. I think this one, I don't know where it's from, to be honest, but anyways, most pencils work, but I like to use the dip liner. It's like always my go-to, and we just dip it. Right now, this part is the Maybelline New York Lasting Drama eyeliner, okay, and it is in the color black. Blackest black. Blackest black, okay.
The real trick is you can't overthink it. You just gotta go in real fast.
Okay, so for mascara, this is my favorite mascara. I swear by this. It is Better Than Sex mascara by Too Faced, okay? I love it. Fun story about how I settled on this being my favorite overnight setting spray or day setting spray, whatever you want to call it. At prom, I used it for prom. That was like the first time I bought it and used it way back a few years ago. Okay, more than a few years ago, okay? But I used it for prom, and basically it stuck with my makeup. When I tell you stayed on through prom, like getting ready for prom, taking prom pictures in the heat, to prom itself, and then through prom party. So prom party, we had like basically someone in the graduating class, whoever it was, every year someone did this for prom party, and they would host it in their yard, in their field, because I told you where I grew up, small town next to a cornfield, basically is where high school was. So there was a lot of farmers and stuff we went to school with. People just had a lot of land. So they would host it. There would be a whole fire pit, and everyone would pitch tents and go sleep and like spend the night there when you just rage all night. So at prom party, it's decided like we were turning up and then, you know, running around doing everything for prom, and like prom party was a rager, and then we had a whole storm. It started like pouring rain, the winds were crazy, but did that stop us? No, we were like, prom party. So we were all turning up, and there was this huge storm happening. I just like to wipe off all my makeup here, my jewelry. Anyways, there's a whole storm happening, and I'm telling you, my makeup stayed on through that whole night to the next morning. So I just like to go in with a napkin or like a wet wipe and just wipe off like excess makeup on my lips before I line it or gloss it. So there's no like, it's just fresh, you know, no base coverage of like foundation changing the color of my lipstick or whatever. And then I just go through over my brows just to get like the powder, and I'll like blend this out a bit just with the wet wipe, and just take a little bit of product off and fix what needs to be fixed. And I'm gonna do some gloss. So fun fact about me and my friends, we are like big on Vase. Like we literally carry Vaseline, like a tub of it in all our bags. Like if I don't have it and I look over to one of my besties and I'm like, do you guys have Vase? Like I need Vase. They will pop out a whole tub. I'm telling you, none of us leave the house without it. Every single bag I own probably has a tub of Vase in it, just for like, in case my lips are chapped. On my car Vase, I have a gym Vase, I have a work bag Vase, I have a backpack Vase, I have a suitcase Vase, I have a Vase in my room. Like I have a Vase for each room that I need a Vase for, okay? And I am just not someone who likes to have chapped lips. I don't do chapped lips. I'm sorry. But I'm gonna line my lips with, this is the Foxy Brown. Oh, can you see it? I'm gonna line it with Foxy Brown by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm gonna just, now I need to sharpen it. Don't get at me. After it's lined, I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass. This is Trill. It's like a little red that I like, and it also has a little sting plumping action that we love. I'll give it the pout you need. Let your hair down, girl. Lay your head down. Okay, guys, so this is the final look. My normal go-to is half up, half down hairdo, and my makeup is done, so your girl is ready. This is my go-tos for like dinners or drinks. Like, this is the vibe, but I feel like I'm gonna act out tonight. Like, she is confident. Look good, feel good, ladies. I told you. It really makes a difference, and you just gotta fake it. Fake it till you make it, baby. Okay, so I really wanted to film this video with as much texture definition in it as possible, because this is what real makeup on skin looks like. There's a lot of morphed reality perceptions out here because a lot of people use ring light to each their own level of confidence or to each their own of what they want to expose on their pages, but I just want to be a part of the movement with texture and like showing real skin. This is what makeup on real skin looks like, and to show you guys like my reviews of like foundation and stuff that I like on my real skin with texture. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you're part of the movement with me, and yeah, 2023, let's bring back all the texture. That's not to say I'll never use a ring light, don't get me wrong. I do love my good lighting, okay? Thank you for rocking with me and watching this and being a part of my journey. If you don't start somewhere, how will you know? That's what I tell myself every day. So if you're questioning anything, or if you're like, well, I don't know if I should do it, just do it. Just start. You gotta start somewhere, and you'll never know if you don't. So just do it. Let's just do it together. I would just like to say, my friend Cam be humbling me sometimes, because I will record something and I'll look at myself and like, that's not how people see me. I hope not, but you know what? I'm confident enough to be like, she looks good, because I see it in real time. I'm like, who is she? Oh my God, who is she? And it's like, it's Barnaby. Growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, like, there was a lot of things that I feel like I'm someone who really chooses her battles, and there's a fine line between choosing your battles and selecting peace and also silencing your voice. And somewhere along that line, I feel like I really just chose peace to the point where I lost my voice, or I muted it, or I silenced it in certain situations, just because I didn't feel like it was my responsibility, or it wasn't something that I just chose my peace over it. And sometimes, like, there's no point in arguing with certain people, you know, but I just woke up one day and I was like, why am I doing that? Like, no. And like, let me just say, I found my voice and it's not going nowhere. It's the comments like, you're pretty for a brown girl. Like, I'm pretty, period. Like, I know it, but like, it's just certain comments like that are what create the underlying subconscious beliefs that you start to internalize. And I had to work really hard to unlearn those. Like, because, hello, do you have eyes? Hello? Please don't come for my nails. I currently took all my extensions off because I'm trying to strengthen them, and they're just really weak and brittle right now. So just don't come for my nails, okay? Let's just keep it going. Just keep it going. Like, growing up, obviously, in a predominantly white neighborhood, not everyone was exposed to our culture, my culture, or like my religion. It was just not a thing. No one really knew anything. So a lot of people had a different view just because they weren't educated on it. And once they became educated on it, they understood and they opened their mindset and widened their beliefs, and they just were more accepting of the world. But like it wasn't like that always. It took a lot of explaining, and it took a lot of answering some questions that honestly should not have been asked for them to understand it. Like, they just didn't know. Like, they just don't know. They're curious, they want to know, and they are learning. So yeah, but some stuff, it was a different time, I guess. To be honest, the best advice I could give someone is like, put in that effort and time into yourself, to love yourself, to work on yourself. Just give yourself love. Stop putting yourself last. Put yourself first. It should be the first thing you want to take care of. Yourself. You know how on the airplane they're like, fix your mask before you help someone else? Like, fix your mask. Give yourself the oxygen that your life deserves. Like, get it. Go after it. I would like to also say, like, I never always thought like this. It took a lot of work and healing and like diving into my childhood traumas and like unlearning certain behavior patterns or certain subconscious thinking that was like already programmed in my head over the years of me growing up. And like, that's just from being exposed to all types of environments. The way I was raised, I love the way my parents raised me. No hate to them. They did the best they could from their traumas. And once you start your healing journey, you realize that. You look at your parents and you're like, you are the outcome of your traumas. You look at them as like, you've overcome so much for me to live the way I'm living. And yes, I have my own traumas, but that means I'm gonna pass them on to my kids. Like, that is the cycle of life. That you just keep living your life, and you are a result of the experiences you have faced and how you've overcome them. Like that is what makes you you, as like your unique fingerprint. You are the one and only, and that's because of everything that's happened to you. So just be grateful and thankful, even if it's something that you never wanted it to happen, or you were like heartbroken about something, or like you were just like, it didn't work for me, or I didn't get it, or I didn't get the job, or everything is working out for you. And like, remember, failure is really redirection. Don't ever look at failure as failure. You gotta fail to learn. Like, you think everyone got it the first round, maybe for something small, but like no one ever gets it the first round. Like, you just gotta keep working at it, and eventually you're gonna get to where you need to be. So stop stressing and just be mindful and live in the moment and grateful. I'm Sri Lankan. I was born in Sri Lanka. We moved to Canada when I was like 4 years old, and so I was raised Hindu, but I would like to say I'm spiritual. I'm not like religious, but I was raised in a Hindu household, and my parents are quite religious, and they take it seriously, but they don't pressure me or my sister to take it seriously. It's just something that they've believed in, but they've never forced us to have to believe it. If we don't, they kind of just like let us make our own decisions that way. I love that they raised us that way, and we have so much freedom in that sense, and they're very open to have those discussions with us when we needed it or wanted to when we were younger. Anyways, I've come to really enjoy how rich my culture is, and the religion I grew up in. I wouldn't say my religion per se, but I do associate a lot of my spiritual beliefs with Hinduism, so it kind of does run in parallel. But for the longest time, I rejected all that because I would connect it to being shamed for certain behaviors, or, oh, you're a girl, you can't do this, even though my guy cousins that were like my age were allowed to do all that. It's just like there was such a huge double standard growing up, and I would associate those toxic cultural standard norms with what the culture actually is, when it's not. Like, the culture is so beautiful, and the religion is so beautiful, and there's so many great learning and little bits that you can take away from it that are just so mind-changing and so good for you. And you see that once you go through the process of healing and understanding, you know? So like, growing up, I wasn't really exposed to a lot of cultures, and I kind of was like, not that I wasn't embracing my culture, but I wasn't fully embracing it. Because I would associate it with the toxic end of it, and then also I was just like trying to fit in, you know? Every kid when you're younger is just like, you're just trying to fit into the crew. And now I'm just at a point in my life where I'm just embracing me for me, and like it's great. It took me a while to get here, but I'm finally here, and I'm hoping this will help someone else who's in a similar path or journey or is trying to figure themselves out in an environment like that. Like, there's just so much more of the world to see, and you're gonna see it all someday. So just hang in there and embrace every bit of you, every little bit of richness in you. No, like now that I'm older and I live under my own rules and like, you know, I'm just doing my own thing. I've always been really good with setting boundaries and like kind of living my life. I don't know. I take after my dad. I'm a little selfish with that, but yeah, like do what you gotta do to make you happy. And now that I'm older and I can fully embrace myself for who I am and feel comfortable and like I'm just confident in the woman I am, the woman I'm becoming, the way I learn, the way I make mistakes, the way life is unfolding for me, I just feel like it's all happening for me. It's not happening to me, it's happening for me. And like every day I'm reminded like things are working out for me, and it's just the best feeling, and it's just the best mindset to have. And it took a while for me to get here, but I'm finally here and I'm proud of it. It's like you have a lot of forgiving space for a lot of people when you go through your healing journey, and you understand that everyone's just on their own path and own journey, and everyone's on their own different steps, and some may be ahead of others or not, and it's just different for everyone. So it's like, are you really ahead or are you in the same spot? But it's just you're on a different journey, a different path. I embrace my culture more. I'm very more in touch with the richness that it brings, and like I'm very thankful and grateful I was born into a great, like such a rich culture and religion, and have all these stories that I've grown up with. And like now I'm starting to appreciate it a lot more because I could separate the toxic end of it to what really matters and the key aspects of it. Like, I would just like to say it did help. Getting ready and looking good just makes you feel good and confident, and it just gets you in that mindset that like has you ready for the day, and it has you ready to conquer and win, and just fake it till you make it. And if it helps to get cute and look good and just have that extra confidence, why not? You know, just do it. And also take the time to like really get to know yourself. Like know what you like, what you don't like. Try new things. Get out of your comfort zone, because growth happens when you're out of your comfort zone. Like nothing ever happens when you're comfortable. Switch it up. Like just learn yourself. Be your best friend. Figure out why you think the way you think and why you like the things you like, and just heal yourself. I think that's like the best thing I could have ever done for myself. And I'm not saying I'm done. It's forever a journey. It's forever a growth journey. Like nothing's ever a final product, but it's really like changed my outlook and how I view the world, and like how I view myself, and how I take on every day, and how I react to things, and how I perceive things. Like it is just a whole new outlook on life. Texture is normal. Let's normalize texture. Let's normalize texture. Texture is normal. I appreciate all of you guys who have made it this far, and who have also watched my first video, my first ever YouTube vlog moments. But hopefully this edit is better. Your girl is learning and growing, and you're part of the journey. So welcome to my journey, and thank you for tuning in for this look. I'm gonna get changed and I'm gonna go to dinner now, and yeah, have a couple of drinks, maybe espresso martini, you know, let loose, because she's looking good.